He didn't need a new day. He needed a new way of seeing. Groundhog Day is not a movie about time. It is a movie about resistance. Phil Connors wakes up trapped in the same day over and over again. Not because the town is cursed, not because Pennsylvania is special, but because Phil believes the world is doing something to him. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want the assignment. He doesn't want the people. He doesn't want the weather. And every morning, without fail, the same song plays on the alarm clock. I Got You, Babe. That song is not background music. It is the signal. It announces the day before Phil has time to think. It interrupts his belief that this morning might be different. At first, Phil tries to ignore it. Then he mocks it. Then he yells at it. Then he destroys it. He smashes the alarm clock. He slams it. He throws it across the room. He rips it out of the wall. And sometimes he destroys himself right along with it. That is important. Phil doesn't just try to escape the day. He tries to annihilate the reminder. But every morning, the clock is back. Perfect. Undamaged. Playing the same song. That's not punishment. That's instruction. Because the clock is doing what the world always does. It repeats the same conditions until the mind relates to them differently. Phil believes if he can break the clock, he can break the loop. That is the same mistake everyone makes. Trying to destroy the signal instead of listening to what it is pointing at. Trying to change the world so the mind can rest. Trying to force peace through form. Nothing works. Pleasure doesn't work. Control doesn't work. Manipulation doesn't work. Self-destruction doesn't work. The day resets because the perception resets. Phil is trapped because he insists peace must come after circumstances change. Then something subtle happens. Phil stops fighting the day. Not because he figured it out intellectually, but because he gives up demanding that the day obey him. He starts paying attention. He starts listening. He starts helping without a plan. He stops using people to get somewhere else. And something extraordinary happens. The day doesn't change. Phil does. And only then does the loop release him. Not when he gets the girl, not when he becomes impressive, but when he no longer needs the day to be different in order to be at peace. That is why everything he once chased shows up effortlessly. And that is why, in the end, he doesn't even want to leave. How could that be if the place never changed? Because the place was never the prison. The prison was the belief that peace was somewhere else. The alarm clock never needed to be destroyed. It needed to be understood. The song never needed to stop. The resistance did. Peace didn't arrive at the end of the movie. Peace was always there, waiting for Phil to stop arguing with the day. And the moment he could see peace instead of this, the day finally moved on. Phil Connors did not escape a cursed town, a stubborn groundhog, or a broken clock. He escaped a way of seeing. The day did not repeat because time was cruel. It repeated because perception was unchanged. Every morning, the song returned not as punishment, but as precision. A reminder that nothing outside the mind had the power to imprison it. The town never asked Phil to suffer. It only waited for him to stop demanding that it be different. And when he finally did, the miracle was quiet. The clock still worked. The song still played, but the struggle was gone. Peace did not arrive at the end of the loop. Peace ended the loop. And so, if tomorrow feels means to trap you, repeat you, or refuse to cooperate. Consider this possibility. The day may not be asking to be escaped. It may be asking to be seen. Because the moment peace is chosen instead of resistance, time loosens its grip, and the mind quietly steps out of the loop. You have just crossed into the twilight zone.